Good morning.
And welcome to the SAP Distinguished Keynote Speaker session. This is, of course, the most exciting session of the Academy this year. You have chosen well your session. Let me just open up the session with a couple of words before I let our distinguished keynote and our panelists loose. This distinguished keynote nomination is something that we do every year from the strategizing activities and practices interest group. And this year, indeed, as you read from the program, our distinguished keynote of 2014 is Professor Kathleen Eisenhardt from Stanford University. We will proceed that way, that I'll try to keep it very short at the beginning and then hand the floor onwards to Professor Eisenhardt, to Kathy, and then we have our two panelists who will reflect on her work, on how it has influenced their own work and how it has influenced the field as a whole. And then at the end, we have time for reflections, comments, and discussion from you. Now, as a couple of very, very few words of introduction, because I know that you all know Professor Eisenhardt very, very well. Here, as you can see, Professor Eisenhardt is the Stanford W. Asherman Professor of Stanford University, and as we all know, her work has centered on strategy and organization, and in particular high-velocity industries. How do technology-based companies survive there? She has worked extensively with firms, in particular in these industries, and as we all know, she is co-author of the Competing on the Edge Strategy and Structured Chaos book, which also won the Academy's George R. Perry Award. Now, as you know, it would be totally impossible for me to list all the different awards and, by the way, honorary doctorates that the Professor Kathleen Eisenhardt has received from different universities, including my former university, Aalto University as well. And the different awards. Here is just a small snapshot, including the Best SMJ Paper Award for the Dynamic Capabilities Paper and the ASQ Scholarly Contribution Award. As you all know, Professor Eisenhardt's work is very highly cited. Here you can see some of the most recent citation statistics that I pulled up from the ISI database. It's really, really mind-blowing to see how someone is able to be cited 21,000 times. And this is only ISI citations. If you then go to Google Scholar, then that multiplies many-fold even further. Now, in addition to impact, I found it very exciting, and as you all know, Professor Eisenhardt has been publishing in all the top journal outlets. But what is interesting, if you look at it from the strategy, activities and practices perspective, she's also been publishing in Harvard Business Review, in Sloan Management Review, and making the research also applicable, approachable by strategy practitioners and strategy practice, which is really showing, but should be using the word, but which is really showing the ambidexterity of Kathy in being able to do that. Now, the strategy as practice work, and just to provide the link to strategy as practice work and Kathy's application, that as you all know, focuses on practices, who is doing the strategy and how that comes together in the everyday strategy practice in organizations. And if you think of, and here are a couple of my favorite articles from Kathy, if you think of what Professor Eisenhardt has been doing during this career, if you think of one of her, and of course it's not the first one, but one of her first articles which focused on strategic decision-making processes in high-velocity environments, that is very much, I would almost say, like a strategy practice, strategy process work. And then, if we think of then the link to work in politics, on politics in decision-making processes and how that either enables or disables the speed of decision-making. That ties that together, how the strategy is happening in organizations in the high-velocity industry. That has enabled us to understand how organizations evolve, how organizations prosper, and which organizations succeed and survive. And that has enabled us to understand what dynamic capabilities are, what they in practice and concretely are, and furthermore, one of my favorite topics as well, that has very clear links of what are the heuristics, what are the decision-making protocols and tools and ways to do decisions. Now, in addition to these content-related contributions, actually we've learned also a lot about how to do research, what kind of methods to use, how to apply cases in strategy research from Professor Eisenhardt. So now, without any further ado, I know you're very excited to start listening to Kathy and start listening to me, so I would invite Professor Eisenhardt to the podium.